Hiya, and thank you for joining me here on this Serious Sunday. Today I wanted to discuss online bullying, trolling, etc. in the wake of something that's been happening on one of my videos, specifically one of my videos in the last week or so. I did a video based on reviewing the breastplate for a boob shop. For some reason that video, YouTube's algorithm put it into a number of people's recommended video queues. They've clicked on it, they've probably seen me holding up something, some kind of still image of me, and decided they want to watch it. And then having worked out that I'm a cross-dresser, transvestite, whatever you want to call me, there's been an awful lot of abusive, rude, and obviously quite ignorant comments that have been placed onto my comment section on that video. And that's spilled into a couple of other videos as well. Now, I wouldn't mind the extra clicks on this, but that's not even a video that I've monetized, so I'm not getting any particular benefit from all those extra views. But that video, last time I looked, was heading towards 100,000 views, which I think is purely based on it being recommended to people. Why was it recommended to people? I would take a wild guess that it's got something to do with the fact that it had the word boobs in the title. And it's something to do with the search history of these people on YouTube who are just looking at boobs. That's my guess. You've looked up boobs on YouTube. I don't know why you use YouTube for that. There are far better sites to go looking up if you want to see that kind of stuff. But I'm guessing that's what's caused the whole underlying problem. Now, I like to deal with trolls in a particular way. Number one, I never like to let trolls get the last word. Wherever I can, I like to demonstrate to them the idiocy of their thinking, and if they have a kind of sloppy thought process or their logic doesn't scan, I revel in pointing that out to them. And I like to keep things kind of funny and playful, and I don't really like to fire back with insults and swearing and stuff like that. I like to keep it a little bit above their level, and demonstrably above their level, so that they know it's above their level. That's how I kind of like to deal with these things. Having said that, there's a slight problem here, which is that they are not only targeting me, they're also targeting yourselves. Some of you who've commented very kindly on my videos and who I've been having nice exchanges with. There's been various comments that have been targeted at people who are simply trying to leave comments onto the video. And I find that a lot more difficult to decide what to do about, because I have no issue with people trying to attack me. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. No one can make me feel bad. I am perfectly content with what I do. I'm full of self-confidence, and online, abuse, online bullying, etc. I like it as a challenge. I like it as a sort of a combative style thing. I'm not welcoming it. I'd much rather have none of it. But when it happens, my particular stance is to be humorous and is to mock the person who has sent in their misguided comment. Yourselves, on the other hand, I have a little bit of concern about this. One of the things that I'd really liked about this channel is that we've been kind of building up a number of responses from people who maybe are commenting for the first time, who maybe are starting to come to terms with things that they have done and with who they are, and building up confidence. And I really don't like the idea that trolls on a video might create the kind of toxic environment in the comment section that puts people off contributing, making a comment, and maybe making their first ever comment on a video. That really does irritate me, and it upsets me a bit that that might be happening. So, what to do about this? The first thing I wanted to say is I'd love to get your opinion. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who would simply say, ignore them, don't comment back on them, etc. There are plenty of people who say, oh yeah, you give them some and go after them, etc. The people I really wanted to try and hear from is, are there any people out there who would be put off from commenting by the actions of these trolls? Because if that is the case, then I would absolutely prefer to block and delete those comments. So block the user, delete the comment, and simply deal with it that way in order to maintain and preserve a more welcoming environment in the comment section. Something where you feel that you are able to make a comment etc. So I guess I'm really addressing people who might be put off from commenting by the actions of those kind of trolls. If you have any particular opinions on this, please let me know in the comments down below, or if that's not what you want to do, contact me through my email address. It's much more private. You don't have to, engage in public with other people. So if that's what you want to do, that would be probably maybe that's a better way of getting in contact with me. But really interested in what people's thoughts are. Would you prefer that kind of trollish behaviour was purged from the comment section, or kept there in order to illustrate the kind of stuff that we have to deal with? It is a reality. That's the key thing. This kind of abuse, this kind of trolling behaviour is absolutely a reality. It can happen in the street, it can happen online. Obviously, everyone's so brave online. Everyone's so, so desperately manly with their little comments that they type on their keyboard from the other side of the world or wherever they happen to be. And it's so childish, really is childish. But I really do enjoy pointing out how childish it is to these individuals, and how, to my mind, they're just not on my level. That is my viewpoint on this. They're not on my level. So that was the first thing to talk about with regards to this kind of bullying, if you want to put it that way, this trollish behaviour that's been happening on my channel. This could happen again. I don't know why this is happening, but whatever. We'll just have to keep an eye on these things and see how they go. So that explains kind of what I do as my standard response. I've had all sorts of insults and stuff in the last week, and it's been, I find it quite fun. I revel in that kind of engagement. But for someone who perhaps isn't as competitive or as combative as I am on these kind of subjects, I can see how that would be potentially a devastating thing to receive. For that reason, it needs to go away. It should go away. And it's the kind of thing that really should be consigned to the past. Now, to talk about the kind of people who are doing this, let's just talk off a couple of things very quickly, because I want to make this really, really clear to everyone. For the most part, there are only actually two kind of observations when someone leaves a trollish comment to me on one of my videos. Number one is a pat on the back for the individual because they've spotted that I'm a man. And that seems to be a lot of people's comment. This is a man. Oh, the voice is suspiciously deep. That kind of comment, I mean, congratulations. I openly tell everyone I'm a man, so it's not like you've burst my bubble on that one. I'm completely aware of that, and describing me as I am, I don't find that in any way, irritating. Not a problem for me whatsoever. The other kind is really, really weird, which is these guys, and it is guys, it's almost exclusively guys. I don't think I've identified anyone that I would think of as actually female leaving these comments. It's always, for these other group, focused on genitalia. Almost exclusively. Like the first thing they see when they see me, or they think when they see me, is their mind goes straight to what's under my skirt. Immediately. They can't help it. It's some kind of compulsion. I don't know what it's about, but for whatever reason, their fascination with what I have or do not have under my skirt is unbelievable. And all I can say from that is that there's either some kind of deep-seated problematical issue going on with these individuals. There's probably a very good reason why they're watching my videos. There's maybe some level to which they, frankly, deliberately clicked on my video, had themselves a bit of fun, feel guilty, and lash out at the person that they now blame for their feelings of guilt and or shame. Now, whoever you are, when you leave me a trollish comment, that's always the first thing that I assume. I always assume that you're here deliberately, you came specifically to see me, you did something that made yourself embarrassed or ashamed, and now you are lashing out at me because, you couldn't possibly blame yourself for what you've done, could you? That was actually even confirmed by one of the comments that I got this week. There was a guy who I've had a bit of a back and forth exchange with, and he specifically said that people like me are only ever used by men when they can't get a real woman. And he actually made the point that the reason he watches my videos is specifically in order to play with himself. Now, when you think about the logic, as I pointed out in my response, the logic there is you can't get a real woman, so you go on to a cross-dresser's channel in order to titillate and amuse yourself and, do what comes naturally to most young men. And you choose to do that rather than watching actual women. Now, there's something, the through line there just does not work. You cannot claim that what you want is a real woman when what you go online and fantasize about willingly, when you have plenty of other options on the internet. It's not like the internet is short on real women for you to fantasize over. But for some reason, this guy thought that he was making some great point that he only uses my videos in order to relieve himself. And that, I don't know, maybe that's supposed to make me feel bad or something, or feel seedy or dirty in some way. I don't care what you do when you're watching my videos. Thanks for the click. That's all, for those kind of guys, thanks so much for the click. But the idea that the logic is, I can't get a woman, I'll watch a cross-dresser on YouTube, relieve myself, to put it nicely, but I won't watch a real woman on YouTube, or any XXX site, or whatever you want to, any internet porn site. Surely that's a better option. I don't get it. The only way that makes sense is that deep down what you really, really want is me. This is what you really, really want. You want what's under the skirt. And every time you feel guilty about it, you lash out at me or one of my friends online. And you go to these ridiculous lengths to demonstrate how disgusting I am to you. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. My instant, automatic, guaranteed first thought on any one of those comments is you want me, and that makes you ashamed. So, to anyone out there that's thinking you're trolling my account or anything along those lines, that is going to be my first opinion. So, if that's what you want me to think, then by all means, troll away, have your fun. But you know what I think about you, and you know what everyone else thinks about you as well. So, I wanted to kind of hand this over to you guys now to say, that's how I deal with things. That's my thought process on this kind of stuff. I think online trolling is one of the most weak and pathetic things someone can do. The idea that someone would try to troll me for not being manly enough by sitting behind a keyboard or on their mobile phone, typing away, like the big man that they are, I find that laughable. I find it actually laughable. The idea that they think it takes less guts, less balls to do this than it does to type comments on the internet, it's a joke. But that is what these guys seem to think. They can't handle anything that is different. They can't handle anything that is unusual. They certainly can't handle anything that challenges their own preconceived notions of their heterosexuality. I don't have a problem with this. If I see someone that I think looks feminine and attractive, I don't find that to be a threat to my own heterosexuality. I still find feminine things attractive. What that person has under their skirt is irrelevant to me, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. So I find it odd that people can't be that self-aware, that you can actually acknowledge who you are and be true to that. If you can do that, you know, someone who's true to themselves, seeing my video, if you don't like my video, go watch something else. That seems to be the easiest thing for people to do. If you leave a comment, you know, I assume that this has upset you because of something that's inside you, not something that I've done. Anyway, very interested to hear what people have to think about this one. I think that this, like I said, it's the actions of a coward. I think these people are incredibly childish, and it's real playground type stuff, schoolyard stuff for you Americans. It's the kind of stuff that you're supposed to grow out of when you reach adulthood. With that in mind, what are people's thoughts on this? Do you have any comments? Is there anything you wanted to share with me? Any questions you want to ask me? If you specifically have any thoughts on what should be done on the channel going forward, I'd like to do what most people think keeps this a vibrant, fun place for people to come and watch videos. If it's putting you off, I really do want to know, because I don't want someone to be put off my videos because of these guys. It's not worth my fun if it's actually turning you off from watching the videos. That's kind of the point. I want this to be a place where people get help and where people are able to, you know, come to terms perhaps with who they are, to start exploring sides of themselves that maybe they haven't thought about before. And anything that affects that to me is detrimental to the purpose of the whole channel and to the purpose of what I'm doing here. So please do let me know. If you want to, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. You can click the little bell to stay notified about upcoming videos. This has been Serious Sunday. And yeah, I hope to have maybe something a little bit less serious or a little bit less directly related to the channel to talk about for next week. Thanks for joining me again on this video. I look forward to talking to you all again soon. And as ever, bye. Bye.